So, managing your online fundraiser. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to do this, specifically with DoJiggy. I've talked generally, for the most part. DoJiggy has a really fantastic tool, and one of the reasons I originally selected it and became a partner with DoJiggy is, first of all, because while it's not a piece of cake to plan any online fundraiser and to do all of this, they make it really simple, and I really like that about them. Also, working with them on a customer service basis, they are very responsive. When I had any kind of issue as I was learning the ropes on the DoJiggy tool, if I had an issue, first of all, I would look in the FAQs, I would look on their support site, which is very thorough, and then if I was still stuck, I would put in a support request, and I was very pleased with the turnaround time and have been with DoJiggy support groups. So they're really wonderful. And then also on the front end, their sales team is phenomenal. So can't say enough nice things about DoJiggy. I will spend a little bit of time here talking generally and then specifically about the DoJiggy tool. So first, you've got your website up. Now you really need to manage your registrations. When you're accepting registrations on your website, you want to make sure to have a little how-to guide. You've got to provide clear guidelines. Specifically, if everyone needs to manage or register with a group, you want that group to be available in a drop-down menu and be able to select easily the teacher or the grade level that they want to register with. So provide those guidelines ahead of time to make sure you don't have to go in and fix things on the back end. Figure out what you're going to do when people get registrations offline. It does happen, and it's important, but you've got to figure out how to get those in the system so that the participants get full credit. Figure out how you're going to manage all those details you did offline in the past. Also, I had mentioned before about doing the group level registration. Really think about how you're going to administer that and who you're going to make team captains, whether it's a student in the class or a teacher. This is what the registration process looks like with DoJiggy. It's a very simple form-based template. This is automatic. You can set requirements for what information you need to have from your participants. But certainly, let's just go step by step through the process, click next, and then they're in. They're into the registration. This is a really great feature of DoJiggy. They allow each and every participant to do a personalized fundraising page. They can include a picture, a little bit of a spiel on why they're doing their walk, and of course they can have their status bar, their thermometer to see how they're doing at any given time. This is the kind of thing where kids love to go back. My son himself, he wanted every day when he came home from school when we first launched this, he wanted to check out his personal pledge page. And he was so excited to see which pledges came in, and he wanted more and more. In fact, he was at the point where he needed $25 more to get to the goal we set for him. And he was so upset that he didn't have that $25. I challenged him to come up with a list of people he'd like to ask. And he figured out who he wanted to ask. We went around the neighborhood. He got a couple of the neighbors to participate and pledge for him online. We just gave him the website, and they did it that way, and he met his goal. So this is a great way to, after school, work with your kid, get them excited very easily to see how they're doing. On the bottom of the page, you can see this share widget that DoJiggy has integrated. That's where you click on it, and you can post your update, your request to Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, you name it, and that's a really useful tool. So this is one of my very favorite features of the DoJiggy site. They have this built into the tool. You can use it or not use it. I suggest you use it. It is about friendly competition. So you can, at any given time, anyone can, go to the website and see who are the top fundraisers at this moment. So it does it by group level, and it does it by individual level. I have a great story about this. One of our teachers, Mrs. Brasher, she really loved this idea of doing this online walkathon. She was so excited, and she was all over it. She kept checking the pledge. She kept checking the leaderboard, and her class was not on it. We were reminding parents to register, and they weren't registering. They were too busy in her particular class. And she took matters into her own hands. She started really advertising this inside the classroom with her students and started telling her students to make their parents register them. This is at an elementary school. And pretty soon we have a lot more of her students registered. And then one day I took a look at the leaderboard. I saw Mrs. Brasher's class had become number 5 from nowhere. And I shot her an email. She went straight to the leaderboard on the computer in her classroom, had her whole class gather around. showed everyone that they made it to the leaderboard, and the entire class cheered. It was so exciting, and they ended up doing quite well. As you can see, they were number 3 in this case. So this is a great way to get everybody to keep going back to the site, to get everyone excited about it, to encourage this friendly competition, and really ultimately make more pledges for your event. This is an example of a registration report. You can pull reports, you can slice them and dice them however you'd like, and you can print them or you can export them to Excel. So I'll talk a little bit more about managing pledges. You've got to decide, like I said, ahead of time how you're going to accept pledges. If you're going to accept cash, check, or credit, how you're going to reconcile cash or check. Credit is obviously done online pretty easily. And then, of course, how you're going to do those offline pledges. Also, company matching I think is really important. There is a great feature inside Digigi's tool where you can ask, you can put in a custom question during the pledge process. You can put in a question such as, does your company offer matching? And you can grab those pledges, and you can send messages later to make sure they submitted the paperwork for their company matching funds. It's a great source of extra donation, and it can be done right there in that tool. So here's just a quick screenshot of the process by which somebody would sponsor a participant and do a donation. And then here, of course, another report. This is a pledge report specifically to see who's got what, who's brought in what, and on a specific level by order, or you can do it by groups by each participant. There's so many different ways you can look at these reports, and they are very handy and really, really helpful, not only to use during the process of this before the walkathon time, but also even the day before the walkathon or the night before. See where you're at, see who your registrants are, and you're ready to go.